ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಚಿತ್ರರಂಗದ ಆಗುಹೋಗುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಪೈರಸಿಯನ್ನು ವಿಕೃತ, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್, ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಪುಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಚಾರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನೂನು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕ್ರಮ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಒಂದು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ. ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಸವಾಲುಗಳೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪರಿಹಾರನೂ ಸಿಗುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಟಾಕ್. ಸೊ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಶೋ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟಾಕ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟಾಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರೋರು ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ರೋಹಿತ್ ಮಂಜ್ರೇಕರ್ ಅವರು. ರೋಹಿತ್ ಮಂಜ್ರೇಕರ್ ಅವರು ಆಡ್ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್, ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೋಸರ್, ಎಡಿಟರು, 3D ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್, ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ನನ್ನ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬನ್ನಿ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ, ಈಗಿನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, 3D ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ, ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಜರ್ನಿ, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಬಾಲಿವುಡ್ ದಿಗ್ಗಜರ ಜೊತೆ ಅವರ ಏನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆನೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಶೋ. Hi Rohit sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine sir. It feels so formal now and it feels great to have you in my show because ರೋಹಿತ್ ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಗಳು. ತುಂಬಾ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಶೋ FMC ನಲ್ಲಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಟಾಕ್ ಶೋ ವಿತ್ ಯು.
You know, I don't appear on talk shows or do any of
that
those
is why
stuff.
I want it feels so great to have you in my show.
Most
because for the first time I'm talking to someone who is multi-talented, because I know you as a from past 20 years. I know you.
Yes.
I have worked with you as a model. I have worked under your production. We both, in fact, me and Santhosh have learned lot of things, lot of works from you. So it feels so great to talk to Guru. ಗುರುಗಳನ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋದೊಂಥರ ಮಜಾ. ಭಯದಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೌ ಟು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯು, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ನೌ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ.
Don't worry, relax.
From past 20 years I know you.
Yeah,
So I know you as a ad filmmaker, I know you as a music director, I know you as a singer, I know you as a great technician. I know you as a expert in 3D technology also.
Mm-hmm.
So have to cover all those things, and I want to tell to our Kannada people who might know you from your name, from your work in in a much in segment ways. So I want to talk to you more about all this field, and let's begin.
Welcome. Let's begin chapter by chapter.
Yes sir. So you are born and brought up, as I know you, you're a North Indian. Rohit Manjrekar. Manjrekar means North Indian for us. So you're born and brought up there.
Yeah.
Then how come you're connected to Bangalore? How come you're connected to Kannada film industry?
Yeah. I'm an Indian, so to say.
Yeah.
But and all of us are. And this is a long story, though it's for the advantage of the audience. You know most of it. I was born in Madhya Pradesh, in the city of Jabalpur, in a doctor's family. My father was a pathologist and WHO trained doctor in specializing in oncology, that is cancer detection in pathology. And then he was in a government service, so he was transferred to a bigger city in Madhya Pradesh that time, that was Indore, and that is how after the 4th grade I studied in Indore. And Bangalore connection of course happened much later. There's much more before that. But yes, I belong to Madhya Pradesh originally, MP, specifically Indore. You can say educated completed my education part in Indore before I moved to Mumbai. in between. And Bangalore, of course, happened in 1996, which was about 6 years after my professional career in Mumbai.
Okay.
And I had come here working in those time cable network companies, and actually to switch into Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited for the production of the Miss World in 1996. That is how
you got
I
connected
came
to
here. Yes.
Bangalore.
Yes.
You said like you have connected with the ABC also. How was working with them? How was it?
I mean, we are all fans of Mr. Bachchan,
Bachchan's,
and
yeah.
doing that at 1996 when the Miss World was announced here, and no one here had done that kind of a production or that size of a production at that given point of time, broadcasting into 76 countries live and creating the infrastructure that time was not here. We didn't even have the rigs to put up the lights of that size of a stage, or the sound, or the OB vans, or the multicam setups, and the grandeur was very, very huge. Taking the whole stadium and setting it up at that given point of time, we moved our office there and we set up all those things. There were a lot of protests also. A lot of things had to be handled and managed and still be produced. Ultimately, the show had to go on, and had to go on live. And we had partnered with Doordarshan, of course. Doordarshan was broadcasting it, so there was no way we could miss anything out on that. So I was lucky that I was a small part of that production, and responsible for the production of that show, which thank God went pretty safe.
Nice. So I know, because I heard many times from you that you have bought Sanket Studio in those days.
Yeah. It was,
so what made you to buy Sanket Studio? Because you are from North India, and then of course cinema movie has no barriers.
See, Pavana,
Still, how you got connected, or
it's just the way you like an Amitabh Bachchan or a Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
So you can't expect me, or in fact it should not be that you don't accept or like talent. It is not just Shankar Nag specifically. Of course, I am a huge fan of Shankar Nag. And to answer it in a one line, I wanted to, when that place came up, that film chamber had to demolish the studio because it was in that premises. So it just came up as an opportunity, and we could somehow luckily afford to manage to buy it, because it was a more of a emotional and sentimental connect that this is where Shankar ji has worked. And incidentally, when I had come, one of the first places that I went and stayed for some time also was Shankar Nag's house only, with that Arundhati's. She was kind enough to have us over for a New Year setup. My friend was very closely working with them in productions. Jagdish Malnadu was a pillar for my strength at that time. So he was also associated with Sanket. So he said that this has come up for a sale, and we jointly decided that we should take this place for nothing else. What we will do with it, we did not know. We then took it and we started employing it, but we knew one thing, that just for the heritage, or for that love, we should take it. And coming back to the point, for example, we love Rajnikant, we love Jackie Chan, we love Kamal Hassan, we love Shankar Nag. I mean, Utsav is one of the best movies that I think I have ever seen. And that cannot be denied. So that particular connection is not regional by any way, according to me. If there is anything good, I've done so much of work here in Bangalore since I came here in 96. Whenever I go to produce, most of my technicians, my friends, who work with me know that even if I'm producing in Bombay or Delhi or anywhere abroad, also Sri Lanka, Dubai, I take the teams from Karnataka only.
Yeah.
So there's no sort of there should not be any concerns.
Just for curious, have you met Shankarji or you?
No, I had met Shankarji, but not after I moved to Bangalore. I met him before I had moved to Bangalore.
Okay.
Earlier in Bombay.
Mumbai.
Yeah, earlier in Mumbai. But I met Arundhati ji and her sister Padmavati, who also has. We've also worked together. In fact, she has done a lot of scripts for me. For the corporate films.
Arundhati ji or
No,
her sister?
Her sister. With Arundhati ji and Pratima Bedi ji, we were associated with Vasant Habba. We used to do some patches of those. That was because Jagdish Malnad was so closely associated in that group. That is why I was also. Yeah. Then it continued. Now she has done such a fantastic job with Rang Shankara. And so I'm happy to have met them, been to their place, listened to them, her Girish Karnad ji, and they come over to my studio and see what I do.
So one more thing, Rakshita's profile picture also you have.
I have shot long back. Yes.
What do you have to say on that? Because she's known as a sandalwood queen, crazy queen of sandalwood. So introducing someone or taking a pic of such a big heroine in her initial days.
Yeah, I had not. I was not doing still photography anymore. But this was a time when I was shooting a campaign for Times of India and for Chandrika soaps, which is a very famous Kerala traditional brand. So, and I was associated with Puneet Rajkumar at that time because we used to use a lot of equipment from their production house also. So he knew somehow that I shoot. So he had a very lovely Bronica camera. And they were coming out with one film together. So he wanted me to shoot her, and that's how it happened. Nothing so big about it.
But ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಕ್ಷಿತಾ ಅವರ ಮೊದಲ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ತೆಗೆದು ಆ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ರೋಹಿತ್ ಸರ್. ನನಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರು, ನಾವು ಕೆಲ್ಸ ಕಲ್ತವರು ಇಂಥವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji also. I mean, you started music, learned music with him.
Yeah, he's my teacher after I moved to Bombay.
Okay.
The whole industry has learned from them. I am also very lucky that I have learned from Pyarelal ji.
How was it? Because working with such a legend, learning from such a legend.
Pavana, what happened that after my education, which is basically I was planning to do my MBA, but I could write the entrance 2 years later only. So I did my graduation in science, then MA in economics and with statistics, and then I did my management. So after completing my education, I got into management-based jobs at a very young age. So while I was working in T-Series,
your first job with T-Series?
It was second job. I had already done a summer training in the music industry earlier, and I was handling video production. So there I was so lucky that at that given point of time, the composers were Lakshmikant Pyarelal, R.D. Burman, Nadeem Shravan had just started, Anand Milan had happened, Jatin Lalit had not yet happened. So we were sitting on the other side of the table. So we had to go to listen to a tune or listen to a recording, and since we were buying the rights, we falsely had the, you know, the authority to say, you know, you can do something like that. Now, that for a musician like me, what will you say to Lakshmikant Pyarelal that you don't like the tune? So it's very funny. So I used to go, even while they're composing, I'll go and I'll just sit. Yeah. Not just to not at all to approve or disapprove a tune, but only to learn so much more. So I used to go and sit. So that's how it started. That's how I could get access into
Music.
Panchamdas R.D. Burman sir's house. That's how I could see him work. I could see them compose for films. I could go to recordings. And same thing happened with Lakshmikant Pyarelal sir also. So Pyare was a great teacher. So I requested him, and he humbly said, "Oh, come whenever you are free, and we'll continue." So what I had learnt in my childhood, and I had left while I was growing up. When I got that chance in Bombay, though it was a very hectic life and time, still whenever I could get a chance, even in the night, I would go and he would sit with a copy and pen, and I still have those papers laminated because it's written by Pyarelal ji himself. So he would write the 5-note staff, and he would write the music, and he would teach how it is. So everything, including from a scale basics, I'm just lucky that he has taught me, and so mathematically and so scientifically, of course, so creatively. Even my sons, actually, Alan and Kevin, who are full-time musicians and music producers and singers, Pyare has taught them in his own house on his piano, standing next to them. He is such a great but such a humble person, and we are so blessed.
Nice. Learning music, was there for you from your childhood, or it happened accidentally?
No, I don't think creatives happen accidentally.
It will inbuilt.
Yeah, it is a God gift.
Because whenever we jam, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಜೊತೆ related to work, related to any discussion, any production, you sing, you play guitar, and we are all, we will get mesmerized. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದು, because not only ಒಂದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಉತ್ತಮ ಆಡ್ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಆದ ಸಿಂಗರ್ ಕೂಡ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. You did the music direction for Kannada movie.
I did the background for Ramesh Arvind's initial, his first time directorial ventures, BC. That girl was also shot by me, Madhuri Bhattacharya. She was in Mount Carmels at that time, I think. So she was shot for the Chandrika campaign.
Okay.
Also, she was also shot by me initially. And for Ramesh Arvind sir, it happened very accidentally. I was at one studio, Vijaya Studio. I was doing the jingle for Britannia.
Oh.
It is not supposed to be in my voice also. I was just singing the lead track for the singer to come and dub.
Okay.
So it was my composition, but I was just singing the music director's version. So my time was supposed to get over, and Ramesh Arvind sir's time was supposed to begin. So he came and he went into the mastering room, and he was sitting, and then he said that I want you to sing for my film. I said, sir, I'm not a singer, so to say, and B, I don't know Kannada, but he gave me 3 songs. I think two we recorded.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So in BC, I have 2 songs as a playback Kannada singer also. And post that, more interestingly, once he knew what I do, the music director, composer of the film was of course somebody else. I'm not the composer. I was just the singer. But he told me that he would want me to do the entire background score of BC.
Okay.
So I have done the full background of BC.
Wow. ಸೊ ರೋಹಿತ್ ಮಂಜ್ರೇಕರ್ ಅವರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರಮೇಶ್ ಅರವಿಂದ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೌಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಶೋ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫೀಲ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಟು ಟಾಕ್ ಟು someone who taught us work.
You're most welcome.
You have worked with R.D. Varman and Lataji. So what do you have to say about your experience? How was it?
It was my privilege. I can't say that I have worked with. I mean, even if I have worked with, I only have to say that I have learned from. That is the first thing, because these are such legends with whom whatever you do, you can't say. I mean, in the concert, of course, pirated versions of that run on the YouTube, and Asha Bhosle herself says that my director is Rohit Manjrekar. Now, in 1999, if you compare yourself, what can you actually tell to an artist like that? But when an artist actually accepts a director, they give all the authority to the director, and that's the way it should be. What she will wear, which way she will act, where she will sit and sing, what antara to take, what not to take, some additional pieces to be added, what movement is there, what continuity is there, which song selection from there, from how it will open, everything goes then according to the director. So we do our job there, but with these people we are directing, but we are always learning that respect for that level of an artist always needs to be there, just because of the body of work that they have done. So Lakshmikant Pyarelal's 580 plus movies and backgrounds, highest in the world. Asha Bhosle is the highest recorded artist of the world. If you're doing their only concert, you have to be on your toes, and you have to keep them that satisfied technically, creatively, that they know who they are dealing with, is in sync and knows his job very well, and a wrong product cannot come out. So this is the experience of working with people who are already legends. You are already you have learned from them. So same happened with Lakshmikant Pyarelal concert also. He is my guru, my teacher. His concert for Sony, the Revival series, again with so many musicians, multicam setups, that is directed by me. So they are also comfortable, because they know me from a long time. So they know what he's saying is making sense. So sometimes that line blurs away, and you work together, just like probably how you and I are sitting today and talking. Of course, you started with me as an actor and as a model, and Santhosh also started his production career along with me, and today it's a separate issue. Today I believe you as to what you're doing. You say, do an interview, and I'll do it. So that comfort grows in. Of course, they are legends. They are people who, if you just listen to only, they are institutions. You have to have the mindset to learn from what people of that stature have come and done and gone. After that, of course, I've done Ismail Darbar, Sonu Nigam, up to Arijit Singh, to so many.
Again, for curious, again working with Sonu Nigam, as you said, how is it? I mean,
Sonu is a very, very nice singer, a very professional person. Delivers exactly
what the director
what is required, and he's also. I mean, all of them are very, very huge personalities, not because of anything else. Because they are actually so talented, and they have done so much of work. Their body of work is so much and so hard that you see an artist become an artist today, even if it's a Diljit Dosanjh. His 18 years, 15 years of hardcore struggle is hardly seen by anybody. We see it after stardom. So this is a very professional setup, Pavana.
Yes.
People who cannot manage professionality with creativity are the ones for whom it becomes difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is it's a proper industry. It needs to be run that way itself.
You have come to Bangalore and then you have established your Unit 1 production.
Yes.
So how was it, and what made you to start it in Bangalore? And I think for so many years you have ruled in a corporate, as a corporate ad guru. as we know, I consider you as an ad guru because I know you as an corporate ad filmmaker, advertising filmmaker. Because I also worked with you for many ads.
Guru and all is a little too much for me, but that the idea is that after ABCL ABCL closed down, and the company was dismantled, and everybody obviously left, and we had moved from Bombay earlier. In the same time, it was discovered that we're going to have our first child here, and Bangalore was a much better personal relief than Bombay. Getting back into that hustle, so was the idea of starting Unit 1 Productions, and the team of the network which was working with me all supported and started till as long as they could. Jagdish, as I already told you, was a integral part and helped me out in everything, setting up and establishing in Bangalore, and that is how we started this production house, and with zero funding, with nothing, absolutely. Went and made the first film on Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao. Whatever we got from that, saved, and continued and made the second film, and then the next, and then the next. And I discovered that though Bangalore was taking a very nice tech shape at that given point of time, there were not many people who were doing commercials out of Bangalore itself, or not even basic small corporate ad films also, which was becoming the requirement at that time. So we got onto that area, and then even builders or even companies like Bosch, for whom we were the agency for 5 years, or Wipro or Chandrika, or if you take
many builders,
it was a boom time for that. Though software also we did very many, and educational institutions also we did very many. But builders, of course, tops the lists, because if you start from Adarsh, then Adarsh Palm Meadows, all projects of Adarsh, ABCD, if you go Adarsh Brigade, Chaitanya, Divyashri, right up to Purvankara, SJR, Mantri, etc., etc. So we could get onto that market, and we were going and showing our work, and we were delivering very good looking films, and films that were working for their sales. So that was one very big chunk, not straight advertising, because advertising brands would live only with the agency and would take a very long time to convert, or would go to a Bombay or Chennai producer only, even if the film could be made here. So once we started doing this, then brands took us a little more seriously here, and we got more brands out of here.
So how many ads have you done, sir?
Ads, in terms of corporate commercials and ads, means not just 30 seconders, but ad films and corporate advertising films, if you count, probably in excess of 600 at least.
So nowadays, today it's a digital world, as we say, real world, or influencers world. So how does it affect ad filmmakers or ad filmmaking profession? Does it affect, or
we'd be very dumb if we try to resist technology. That is the first thing. We have to adapt to it. There's no other go.
But still, like if we see your films, they're highly, technically high and quality wise high. Now we have technologies, we have updated, all gadgets. Still, people fail to deliver the quality. But you have ad filmmaker every doorstep. So what do you have to say on that?
No, good luck to them is the first thing, and whoever does it best may please succeed. But that's the whole problem. You have engineers who reach at a different engineering level if they've studied engineering also, or if they've practiced it at least. So I know where you're coming from, or who you're referring to, that anybody who buys a camera is a cameraman, or anybody who has a smartphone is a reel maker and a filmmaker. And even brands and people are accepting that because it's a social media world. That will be there. It has always been there in a different form. What we sometimes forget is that there is a market for every kind of a production if it is coming out in the market. Because if it was not, then you may have a particular view about a particular genre of films, or a particular language of films, or a particular type of productions. But there is a viewer for everything.
Yes, exactly.
So if the viewer today is going and shifting to reels, it is making the work of the filmmaker a little more difficult to prove that now he has to prove more that he is a better filmmaker.
Yes.
So that better filmmaking is proven by either a larger production or better technology or something that this reel maker cannot do.
Yes.
Instead of crying about, oh, everybody is making reels, what do I have to think about? I have to deliver better. No, if this everybody is doing, then technology has changed for them. It has changed for me also. It has gone into AI. It has gone into stereoscopic 3D. It has gone into virtual reality. It has gone into headsets. So till I do not make that change, then I will be competing and I'll probably be beaten by somebody who is a reel maker.
Yes. I know you have worked with lot of Bollywood legends. Still, I wanted you to tell with whom you have worked and how was it, because let the people know about your experience.
In the music field, that has been the largest. Of course, with Mr. Bachchan and ABCL directly. Here, because I was in charge of the production here. And if you start in the musical field, then Lakshmikant Pyarelal comes first. When I entered the industry, they were ruling. Kalyanji Anandji Bhai, I have done quite a few songs with. Asha Bhosle, of course. Her only concert is directed by me. Ismail Darbar, Sonu Nigam, Arijit Singh, Alka Yagnik. It's
list goes.
It's too long, yeah.
Nice, because I want
in the music fraternity. It's too long. KK, Javed Ali. With Javed Ali, I did a series called Music Room, in which we have explained 77 acoustic instruments. What are their sounds and how they have been used in which film songs.
Okay.
So that is 77 songs that I did with Javed only. And what an artist again. So good. All of them who, Shafqat Amanat Ali from Pakistan, of course. I'm lucky Vadali brothers have sung one of my compositions. Yeah. And of course, Shankar Ehsan Loy. The Unplugged of Bhag Milkha is also done by me. So this is a very, very Sadhna Sargam. It's a very long list.
Nice. So you have set up Indian Music Lab also.
Yes.
So how is it going, and what exactly it is?
Indian Music Lab was started with the idea that we produce originals in terms of music, and we picturize them in as good as a possible way that we can. We were lucky that we got an association with Sony, because for Sony I had done other musical productions like Asha, Lakshmikant Pyarelal were made for Sony. So they had confidence that I would be able to make something good enough for in the musical space. So for Sony, Sony gave us the live telecast, the release on the television platform was on Sony, and the rights belonged to me itself. And we put up a YouTube channel now, and we're continuing that effort now. In COVID, it was of course closed, but this February 14th, I think we'll start making it large again. We've just put out one of the compositions of Shafqat Amanat Ali on Indian Music Lab now. It doesn't have too much of a traction or whatever, because it's a very soft release. but the same song is coming out in the voice of Shreya Ghoshal also. It's my song. Shreya has sung and Shafqat has sung it as a duet. Shafqat's version is out, Shreya is releasing. Then there is Sunidhi Chauhan in it, KK, one old recorded number, Javed Ali, and quite a few to come. So that IP is so to say reviving.
Nice. And this chat show will also get played in Indian Music Lab.
Yes, we'll play it on Indian Music Lab for sure.
And I wanted to ask you, you have recently directed even IPL also, you have technically.
No, you can't say that I have directed that. Director of that is from BCCI, Mr. Dev. I have been the executive producer for the virtual reality production of Jio Cinema.
Okay.
So you don't need to be directing that. It's fixed cameras, and that is a BCCI direction. So technically, it is wrong to say that I direct. There's a virtual reality production which you watch on a headset, where you can move your head and you can see 360 and 180 like that. That part was introduced on Jio Cinema in the past 2 years.
Okay.
I am the producer for that.
Oh, nice. So next,
that's a new tech addition into the sports broadcasting.
So you're a 3D expert, as I know. So how did you started and when did you started?
First, let's clarify that this 3D is not the 3D that people immediately get an idea of.
Yes.
When you say 3D, people think that it's 3D titling or it's 3D modeling. We are very, very clearly referring to stereoscopic 3D, which means...
What is it?
Yeah, which means the movies that you wear with your... the movies you see with your glasses on in theaters, like the Avatar, biggest and most common example, or like the way a whole lot of young people do gaming with their virtual headsets on now. Or if you are aware of the Apple Vision Pro, which is a latest, very high-tech, very, very excellent device, or the Oculus, or now Rayban has come out. Now the whole world is shifting to what are known as virtual reality devices. These virtual reality devices and 3D theaters and glasses-free iPads.
Okay.
They don't even need glasses. Yeah. All of them give you content as if you would have also seen it in a whole lot of movies or so, as if the arrow just comes to your eyes, or you're seeing that, the dragon flies behind you. That is what is the 3D that I shoot live in, not animate. I shoot live. Okay. That is the production of the 3D. It was done so many years back, even in black and whites in House of Wax. The Kutti Chetan, Chota Chetan, one movie we watched like that with red and blue glasses. This now it's polarized glasses, so it's just another dark glass and the effect is much better. But that is stereoscopic immersive 3D. So that is what I super specialize in shooting.
I have this question in my mind because 3D has, according to my knowledge, is quite a costly affair. So today, film industry is facing an issue called, people don't go to theater to watch a regular movie. When it comes to 3D, production cost is also high, when the ticket cost may also high. So does it create impact, because is it will be able to pull the audience to the theater by adopting 3D?
Pavana, have you seen this movie Chota Chetan?
Yeah, I have watched it.
In 3D?
Yes.
Can you forget it?
No, never.
So the point is that the experience is so real life that you can... Anybody who has watched Avatar in 3D or Transformers in 3D will not forget it in their life.
Yeah.
That is one thing. Second thing is to answer your question, that it is costly to make. But it is so unique and so different from a 2D production, where you're taking a chance with, say, one film versus 365 films in the same format.
Okay.
And here there is one film for which the audience has to come to the theater to see it. They can't watch it on anything else.
Yes. That is the question I have in my mind.
So that is a pull which is worth everything, is what I think. And even there is a 2D version of the same film any which way. So it's not that it's not a 2D film. It's a 2D film which is a 3D film which has a 2D print also. So if the film works in 2D also. The 3D is the additional advantage for the film. And that is the reason why a whole lot of people are nowadays shooting in 2D and converting it into 3D because of a few reasons. They think or they are not aware as to how to properly frame and shoot for 3D, which in its basic form is very different from 2D. It's classically, its filming its framing itself is different. That is the only concern.
So why 3D is important, and what is the, these days AI is a kind of threat, so what do you have to say on this?
See, 3D is important because 3D is the future. It is like a concern of when color came into the film industry, they used to think color is only if you are shooting songs or this, or why do I need to make my film in color? Color is default. You in your real life you see 3D, you see color, so you can see the depth behind me. This wall is probably 2 feet behind me, you can see that depth.
Yes.
In 2D you can't see it. So you will always switch to something which you naturally also do. It's a default. Because of technology we have not been able to see 3D till now. That's one. The second thing is that these devices, say an Apple Vision Pro today in India is 4 lakhs, but its lowest version, X-Real, is 32,000.
Oh.
So its affordability among the young crowd is increasing very high. Very, very high. I know of people who, the ones who are rich who can afford it, they've gone to US to buy the Apple Vision Pro and come back. That's all.
Okay.
And the other ones, like Rayban has now also launched some 50,000-60,000 rupees worth. So they use it for gaming. They use it to watch IPL now. For 2 years I had been making it. Was a part of that particular team which delivered such a great experience of the cricket match itself also in 3D 360. Yeah, 360 ideally, and 3D if the headset is capable of it. So Apple has put out a whole lot of films in 3D in its Vision Pro. And all the other content makers are also looking for that. So ultimately this content is going to grow. The nature, because the device has now come, you don't need to go to, you're not limited.
Yeah.
If you see an avatar on that also, it's so amazing. So I think that it is the future. Optically it looks as if you're present there. It's immersive, as if you can actually reach out and touch the environment around you. And it's a completely different experience. So when you are going to be doing dedicated viewing or appointment viewing, when you want to sit and watch a film or you want to sit and watch a show, that time you will use 3D mode when you are concentrated viewing, and this will attract everything. So for example, the next commercial of Audi R8 is already 3D. People which are the highest level of brands are already shifting their advertising to 3D. Attract clients who are wearing these virtual headsets, and all the theaters are already 3D capable.
Yes.
So imagine you go to a theater and you're watching some next Spider-Man movie which is supposed to be a converted movie incidentally into 3D, and the theater starts saying that put on your glasses to watch this 1 minute ad film itself which is in 3D.
3D, yeah.
So you already have the glasses, you already have the theater, now make a one minute film and use 3D. This is how I see. So from virtual reality headsets to theaters, there is a lot of scope.
So recently have you shot ads in 3D?
We are beginning to. We are beginning to. It's difficult to explain to clients and agencies its use cases, but it has started.
It started.
Yeah. Overseas it has started very heavily. year, it is starting now. In the graphic design domain, it's much more easier. Doing this on a 3D actual setup where you don't require shooting, there it's comparatively pretty easy. But shooting 3D live is
difficult.
It's very different from shooting 2D live.
Yes.
Its framing itself is different.
You need to be...
you need to think a lot of things. I mean, we can discuss it from the cinematography side at length if required, if somebody wants to discuss.
So, when can we expect a 3D movie from Rohit sir?
Oh, whenever a funder believes in me.
So, are you planning, or have you planned? Or?
Gemini had actually very many years back signed me for 3 movies in 3D. It was called Classmates. It was to be shot in Fiji, but the project didn't go through because of some earlier disputes of, the subsidy percentages. And I was in Fiji for a long time, and the whole pre-prod and etc. was done. And but then it didn't go through. So it's not that I have to do only feature films. So I have concentrated on doing more of commercials and corporate commercials, so to say. Collaterals and commercials also, you can say. But that's what is now I think the industry for. We have a mindset that you have to be doing a movie only. But personally, I think anything which is... I love doing musicals. So I concentrated on doing a lot of shows and musicals. That's something that pleases me also very much. There is one subject that I want to make in 3D, which is also a musical. So if it's the right time, I'll pitch it to a good enough studio. If it works, that's something that That's something that I would like to produce and direct. Apart from that, I'm happy doing what you're doing.
Sir, today, if you see film industry, both how do you see Bollywood and South? Because both are falling, and some movies are picking up, but it's not going well. So what do you have to say on that?
It's a very tough question, and it's a very tough call, because there are 2 perspectives to both of these. After the corporatization, I do not know if you realize or not, but if a studio comes in, the amount of control that they have at times troubles the director. It goes away from his mindset, but he has to go since it's funded from there. And most of the times, I would say, on the other side, but this formula still works good enough. There is a balance that still reaches in this. Most of the times, the films that do not work are made with lesser amount of thought, or are made with lesser amount of a definite objective, or a lower level of technical ability or understanding of that particular medium or the purpose of the film itself. Any large or small film, till it does not address a specific purpose, large or small, you cannot expect everything to be an entertainer only. And this is what makers are also expecting, that whatever I make, it has to be accepted. It will not be accepted. Why should it be accepted?
But these days there's a drastic fall. Even movies are good, content is good, but still people are not coming to theaters. This is a large complaint, or a large problem what we have.
The choice is too much.
Yes, options are more.
The choice is too much. So the theaters had a problem. I appreciate Mukta Arts, who now defined that, popcorn is supposed to be only this much. The expense is too high to go and watch entertainment of that order. Let's be frank, if it was affordable, people would love to go and do it, but that has just sprung up. And everybody, we can't blame any part for it. We can't blame the audience. If we want to make a film from a star, you know the cost of stars.
Yes.
You know the cost of distribution today. And you know the options available for them at home. And at what cost with OTT coming in. Now, you can't restrict it, right?
Yes.
You cannot say that
Please come.
make poor quality on OTT.
Yes.
Who will do that? They are doing their best. You have to do better. That formula needs to be cracked somewhere, and otherwise it's just a cry. Otherwise we'll just say, ki, oh, people are not coming here to
Yes.
see. If an Oppenheimer is made, people will go and see, but it also has a
Its own
cost, its own cost structure around it. So how a good film is capable of delivering all its life is something that filmmakers need to realize more on for the basis of content. So if you, I know I'm talking very old, but if you make a Sholay, if you make a Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, if you make a Dil To Pagal Hai, your generations earn from those films. That is also one pattern of filmmaking.
Yes.
But that film has been made so well.
Yeah.
A small film, I still remember, I was a part of the setup when it was purchased. N. Chandra Saab made a film called Ankush, in which Nana Patekar was launched. It is such a small film, we can't say. There are examples from here, Garam Hawa. That film it can never die. So, The Common Man,
Okay.
smallest film, Neeraj Pandey and Nasir Saab's. I think Neeraj only, if I'm incorrect, please check that fact.
Yeah.
But The Common Man, it will keep giving you revenue from an OTT, from a television, or from any medium of broadcast all your life.
Yes.
Even if it does not crack the theatre so well.
Yeah.
So a small film also has the capacity to attract or earn as long as it's a good film. So this part the industry can also not forget, that good is not just what is in our mind. Good is what the audience finally endorses as good.
Accepts. You always say with us every time, like film title can be forgotten, hero can be forgotten, but the songs never
cannot be
fade. So what do you have to say on that? Because does that apply even today, you think?
100%. 100%. It applies to everything. The biggest recall for anybody is good words said in a good melody. You will always remember a good song or something that you've liked. You will forget the dialogues. You will forget everything about it.
Yes.
Now, music plays an integral part in retention. It is small in terms of duration. It is impactful. It has lyrics which please your mind. It has music which pleases your mind. It straight away, its dopamine effect is much more than watching a full film or trying to expect it. And also, what is the frequency? How many times will you see one same film?
Exactly.
2?
Yes.
3? Somebody like me, Sholay 10?
Yeah.
20? Okay.
Yeah.
But songs
always, forever.
Yeah. So it's a very big hook to make. The biggest hook to make a film a hit is the music.
Yeah. But these days we are finding it less. Music is less content because people give more importance to content. So that is the reason I have raised up this.
Cost of production of a good song
is
equivalent to cost of production of a film.
Yes.
That is the reason it's not used in OTTs. And that is again a strength which our producers should concentrate on.
Yes.
OTTs are not running behind music till date, till now.
Yeah. But
it does not mean that they will not run behind it.
Yes.
As of now, till there is time, let's make films which are good musicals. Most of the OTT platforms, originations that have also percolated and come down into India, at least the larger ones that we know of, have a very Western base. In Westerns, the musicals are defined. If it is a Sound of Music, it is Sound of Music. If it is Chicago, it is Chicago. Otherwise, mostly films don't have songs. Neither do plays. They have a title track. Maybe Friends has a great title track. But that's it. It's not dependent on music. that is a very big space for filmmakers also to understand here. Utilize it with that particular advantage. So I think that should be encashed. It is something which can make or break the future of a film. It's what makes a film large,
Yes.
any which way.
And what do you have to say to a new filmmaker who comes without preparation, especially in the part of script? Because I have been working with you, I have seen you giving importance to the script doctoring, what has to come, where it has to be placed, certain scenes, it can be music, it can be scenes, it can be climax, whatever it is. So what do you have to say on that?
See, Pavana, it's a very basic fact that if you do not know the art of screenplay, and if you have not sat on edits of so many films before, you have not delivered or you have not experienced what an edit will make a film look like, and what should be the sequence of your storytelling, if that's the question that you're asking. Unprepared on screenplay, in the sense that unpreparedness is different. People who have a novel or who have a script in their hand or a bound script think that the film is already ready. That's not the case, unfortunately.
Exactly.
That is not film making, according to me. So till the sequence of the film does not run through, and till you are not very confident that this is the best way to deliver a script, after a script is a script also, that sensibility will need to come with the understanding, especially of screenplay and especially of the edit, and the wholesome impact at the end of the period of 2 hours or 1.5 hours or however long your film is. How to retain the interest from your first shot till your last shot, and B, what should be the best method of juxtaposing the shots in such a way that it adds up in the end, it makes sense, even if it is a feel good film. Even if from the first shot you know that this is a poor hero and he is going to become a successful one in the end. In such scripts which are non-thrillers, in fact the screenplay is much more important, because the viewer has gone there only to feel happy. So it's only the way you are saying it that you are entertaining him. If there is a thriller, you can maintain it, that who done it, who did it, who is the culprit, who is the villain. Yeah. But so how do you deliver that part? If you're unprepared for that itself, then it's not worth shooting the first frame of the film.
Exactly. Yeah. But these days we see a lot of such people who come up with a very good funder, unprepared with the script, and then go to direction.
Then they will produce the film and then it will not work, and then the industry is blamed,
yes,
which is wrong, which should not be the case. So people who know their craft, I think, should be left. We don't go to a doctor and tell him that if you have to operate my heart, you operate from this side, not that side, or exactly. why don't you stitch before you cut? We don't say that. So, but unfortunately, in the creative field, we also know for the past everybody has the right to criticize or to advise, and a whole lot of makers need to succumb to that because they are funded by them, or they are their lead cast, or they are their something or the other. There are some pressures in which it is made, which ultimately leads to this. And of course, very importantly, the ability of the maker. The experience and the ability of the maker is a very, very big factor. Biggest factor. And you will have to start small and deliver. I always keep saying to you also, at times whenever we meet, it can be small. It can't be bad.
Always.
You can make a big film and make it bad. You can make a small film and make it good.
Really good,
Yeah. So make something small and good. This is what I would is the advice that if you say that I have not said new filmmakers or whatever, I'm not that. I also do not make so many feature films but I realize and I understand what it is, because I've been on the other side also so much. And on the sets also so much, doing the same thing, making it ready finally to be sold.
Okay, so when we introduce a product, we do marketing in a large way. But when it comes to movie, the budget is spent. For example, let's take for 50 lakhs. But when at the time of promotion, they don't spend much on promoting the movie, or we can say like marketing a movie to reach the people. So how do you suggest, or what do you suggest for such makers, how to market small budgeted movie, because they have a limited budget also, but it should reach the people, audience as well, but they have limited budget plan for the promotion. So wherein we believe, and I saw you also saying that promotion is the most important factor for a movie to reach the people. So what do you have to say on that? How do you advise?
I think, it's not rocket science anymore. I don't think any form of advertising today is going to work better than digital for this segment of movies. Anything else, people think outdoor or hoardings or newspapers or television, it may be very, very small trickle effect. Every person who's going to consume small or big size media today has to be approached only digitally, which is not very costly, incidentally, till now. So innovative ways of doing that. Large brands are also now shifts are 50% is a spend, if I may be right, approximately, or reaching 50% at least on some brands, which is completely digital. And that too is a digital as compared to traditional media. So these segments, they have to be 100% digital.
Yes.
And in 100% digital, if the product is really good enough, in fact, it's a very nice platform. Your virality test will, happen once you put up the trailer itself. You'll come to know whether it's going to be accepted generally itself or not. So as soon as you start putting out some stuff on the digital and social media, and if you're getting positive reviews, then you can hold it up to go to expect that it'll do well on a release. Otherwise, you're already getting public response. And this kind of sampling was not available before, and is not available on any traditional media. See, you can't say, let's put an ad in the paper and see. Now you put an ad in the paper and you didn't get 10 response.
Yes.
And you don't know what happened. Here you will put one ad and see and say that, okay, this song is working, okay, this media is working, okay, this dialogue is working, okay, that patch is working, okay, this actress is working, that villain is working. If you put out 10 cuts, you will come to know 10 things on the film which are getting accepted. Then you know which part to further promote within digital media. And that can support everything from pushing the people to the theatres or whatever.
Nice.
It needs to be that scientific, that's all.
Exactly. And what do you have to say about piracy? Because every movie, every content is getting pirated.
Yeah, it has to be stopped, obviously. There has to be a legal cover to it, because it's not the way any industry can function. Counterfeiting is a serious offense, and people put a lot of their hard-earned money and borrowed money into stuff like this, and anybody who's doing it is basically a thief and needs to be caught and needs to be punished.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And all the bodies have to take necessary action. I know that this FMC, of which also I'm also a part of it in whichever capacity you want me to. But I know that it's raising its voice against this particular subject also, and you have been successful also in stopping quite a few people who've been doing this deed, and the industry should make more noise about who are doing it wrong, so that people think twice before doing this.
Yes, unite together and then fight against it.
Yes. I don't think there's anybody who will, from the industry, who will will not want to unite on it, but they need to put some efforts.
Because everyone is facing the problem, but they don't talk about it. They just ignore it. This ignorance is actually become bliss for them, for those who are doing piracy, act like this. Okay, let me come to a part of review of the movie. There are set of people, they do review and there are listeners for them, but there are again a set of new faces, new YouTube channels. Most of them are engaged in reviewing the movie, which releases every Friday. They go sit and watch and they describe the entire movie, saying that I like this part, I like that part. Here comes I first, then how about the movie or about technicality or about the cast or crew, leaving all that. It's a personal review of a person. So what do you have to say on that?
It's content for them.
Exactly.
They have no other content, so they'll go take a movie and say why this is good, bad, ugly. Point number one.
Yes.
So instead of discussing what, that will be a problem. We are living in an open democracy with everybody having a voice, trying to say whatever they want, and sensible public will listen and non-sensible public may also listen to them and form their opinions. I think this is what is your concern, and it has to be countered. See, we'll keep getting issues like this. How we can counter this is that our pre-launch publicity already should be countering this setup. If you are waiting for these YouTubers who are born yesterday and are living on your content only to be earning on that particular setup, it's like a, you know this, Pavana, on Instagram, if you go on Instagram itself, you will get an ad, pay so much rupees for so many views.
Yes.
It's present on Instagram itself, right?
Yes.
Now, how does Instagram counter it? Either one fine day it will remove it.
Yes.
Or B, prior to that, it has made one setup that if you want your views to be boosted, this is the legal way to be boosted. So what we should do is that before your content hits the public domain, your review pattern should be too selective and should be already over with people whose voices are already heard. And these newcomers also who have more of a value, which is only, they're not even troublemakers. They're only worried about their own views. So if each one of them or the top one of them are handled earlier, the old PR strategy, that the best PR guys you'll call before, keep a screening only for them, get YouTube reviewing or whatever only from them, which is already pre-established and that media is already boosted. After that, if somebody else barks, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Is my thought.
Yes.
I would plan out a release that way. That's about it.
Okay. So for a new filmmaker who plans to release these days, this is also affecting for the filmmaker when at the time of releasing they don't get theaters, they don't get the right show time, and the ticket cost is also high. So how do you suggest such filmmakers how they have to plan while getting into distribution?
No, this is an issue which is going to be there because nobody, if you want to enter into an industry, you won't get a walkthrough. If supposing we want to decide that we want to open an airline tomorrow, and we say that we have very small planes and we are not getting parking space on airports, you will not.
Yes.
Well, it will have to be proven only by starting one route from here to the next particular place and then growing it. So that expectation that I am coming with this film, so my release will be of that size which is coming from a Dharma production or from a Ramesh Sippi production or maybe a Disney studio, that expectation is wrong initially. But that parity should be there. For that, if we are saying that it should get some view space, then that can come from an administrative kind of a guideline or a setup where art is promoted, where theaters are there where only such films will get a release, or where there are timings where you can go and watch it, or there is a setup where it is a club or it's a government body which says that whatever is produced here at least gets those many eyeballs. So you don't fight the industry, you promote art.
Exactly.
That cannot go. A handloom maker will not say that I should get the same showroom as Raymond's.
Yes.
But a handloom maker can say that I should get a heart to sell my product. And from there, if it grows and if it becomes like a nice cottage industry, that should definitely be supported. That should be a industry as well as I think government support also should be there for people who are doing at least good work. There should be some parameter to understand whether what work is coming out for sure, what is the quality of work, but whatever is there, if it is just that okay you made and you never got a theatre only, that problem has to be solved.
Yes.
And it can be solved by these two means: either have a dedicated theatre, and you'll be shocked in for example theatre like Natak itself is a very niche form like that. No.
Yes.
Once you make one place where only theatre happens, you don't get a play booking in Rang Shankara for years.
Yes.
You can't get it because people who are interested come and see that. Let's have a theatre where we watch only films which have never got a release. In fact, remind me, a friend of mine is involved in the development of an app for an OTT which is just like this. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We have initiated that.
You're a part of it?
I am very closely associated with it.
Very nice. Okay, so good news is coming.
Sorry?
So good news is coming from your side.
No, I mean it's existing. It's not my own, but I'm very, very closely associated because I suggest what they can or they should take or not, or I can. Okay. I mean, it's just that if there is something, it just came off the mind that people have thought about this idea and people are executing it, at least at the OTT level.
Yes.
So at the theatrical level also it can be executed.
Yes. So what do you have to say about Kannada industry's current situation?
Well, I think it's the same as every industry. There's no particular industry good and bad. The whole film industry is in one particular phase only. Some very good films are not working. Some bad films
doing really well.
This is all subjective, it is good to some. It is, if it has worked, it can't be bad. It's like that. Yes. So this subjectiveness itself, if you're saying the condition of the industry, it's our judgment. It should not be there. What has worked is successful. It's as simple as that. What has not worked has probably not been able to reach there for various reasons, and that needs to be corrected. And correction will happen from the makers.
Yes.
It will not happen from the audiences. The audience need ready served food.
They are waiting for right movies or something that really entertains them, that really triggers them to pull to the theatre.
Viewer behavior is the key to making new content. Now, this most of the times our makers are forgetting.
Exactly.
Even if they're remembering, their love for their script, their production is higher than the acceptance that audience preferences this today. So that approach is not that scientific. That's why I think it's going there, and it needs correction. It needs an attitude-based correction in our makers also.
Yes. Rohit sir, you have you're of course top ad filmmaker. You're an amazing editor. You're an amazing music director. You're a 3D expert. So when can we expect a feature film from you? You have not made any feature film till date. You have said you had an offer, but then it has been...
I was signed for 3 films with Gemini, but it is not... I'll not make it till it's not worth making it. As I told you, I have a subject about a musical which I may produce and which I may direct, and I would like to, but that's about it. Apart from that, anybody wants or any subject is there that I need to direct or I can direct, and I'm open to directing any feature film. I would love to direct feature films as long as I know that the project will go through completely, because I have put in a lot of time with a very large producer, everything being perfect, all the money is being paid, but still the project didn't go through, so I was a little disheartened. That's why I don't spend so much time, because for me, before the film goes at least on floor, at least a year will go in pre-prod to detail it, at least. So and music, etc., and finalizing and everything, and then if it doesn't see the light of day, then you feel bad for a long time. So I just wanted to avoid that. If it's ready, I'm ready.
So because we are all expecting a movie from you, because we have learned work from you, so we wanted to see your work on big screen. That's a kind of dream for a student.
Let's see, maybe a 3D mid-size or small film, something which is safe and cute to make, I may attempt even before this musical.
Because you have you're expert, as I said, you're expert in almost every field what I have mentioned now. Are you, I mean, do you have any sadness or feel that you have not made a feature film till date? Do you have any that little pinch?
I had it when I went and stayed at the location also, and still the film couldn't start, and I came back. So that was very sad. So that's why I posed that I have not done a film. And that's why I'm so specific, even with whatever, if there are offers at particular setup, if I don't feel that the making is safe or it's complete or it can go through, then I'm a little away from the production. I can handle the back end. I can support the film from behind. I can do whatever consultation, judgment, editing, music, production, post, whatever is required, I can do from behind. But then I don't lead the ship. I don't want to be the captain of the ship on that particular setup, because that requires any filmmaker while doing a film has to eat, breathe, think only that particular subject. He has to live that subject, is our belief. Maybe old school, but that's our belief. Only then the best comes out.
Yes. So you have won multi-talent award.
Yeah.
So, please tell about it.
No, it is just a one global magazine gave it to me for the most multi-talented personality in the film industry.
Yes.
So that one I got, and one I got in Ramoji Film City for promotion of new talent, because in Indian Music Live we launched 30 new singers, absolutely new singers with all original songs, no covers, nothing. So these are a few of the.
Sir, what is your current project? What are you doing currently? Because I know you have done Miss Earth also recently, and Indian Times Daily also has been.
Yeah, so these are in fact Miss Earth is a very, very old IP of mine. It is a registered trademark applied in 1996, received in 1999.
Oh.
Yeah, since 1999 I am the owner of this particular pageant. Yeah, and we did it here, and not just here, we owned it in America also. In the US we registered there also. The first users of this pageant there, and in India as well. And we have been doing it since then. We've just been making it bigger now.
Okay.
So in the past 2 years it has been bigger, and this year also there was quite decent foreign participation. Next year there's going to be much more. Yeah, so that is one project. The next, Indian Times Daily is a digital news platform. I have shifted my IPs to digital platforms, understanding that where the consumer usage should come from, and I'm leaving that cycle. It had a very bad setback because of COVID for 4 years. So, but luckily these are IPs, so they can always be regenerated.
Yes.
So it's continuing. So Indian Times Daily is a news network which is focused on non-resident Indians all over the world, especially Canada, US, and UK, and it's growing into multiple countries. And it gives only that news that NRIs in those particular states, countries want. And Indian Music Lab, of course, is a music platform which produces originals for new talent. And that had a collaboration with Sony. And again, post-COVID, its relaunch is now. But the first one that we made larger, and we firmly believe in because of the e-com rage, is Miss Earth.
Okay.
So that has already now 2 years and done. And the next IP for again regrowth is Indian Music Lab and Indian Times Daily, almost parallelly.
In Indian Music Lab, what you have said, what are the current projects? Who is singing? New singers or existing singers?
No, the one is just Shafkat Amanat Ali. Next is Shreya Ghoshal. Next is Sunidhi Chauhan. Next is Raja Hassan. Next is KK. Wow. Next is Javed Ali.
All big singers, legends.
Yeah, but there are very many new singers also.
Also there. So you're giving platform to new singers to.
Yes. That was the idea of Indian Music Lab.
Okay. So you're a part of Filmmaker Council.
Yes.
You know how it has been working and what we are speaking over there, and the topics we are raising voice against. So what do you have to say on that?
It's very important for any industry's body to be united. So you have Machine Manufacturers Association, or any association. Even if you have a market, you have an association for that, so that you can stand for it. So the first thing is that is very required, and it needs to be a very active and proactive setup, which is what I like about this. And the issues that need to be discussed should be global, that the industry is facing. And everybody can't be myopic that me concerned only about my film, only about this, only about that. You don't see it as a fraternity then. You don't see it as a partnership. You don't see it as an association. And one thing that I've shared in some of your meetings also, that I always feel that it should be an asset sharing base.
Yes.
It should not be just something that is there for people to fight against for. It should be something that shares as a cooperative also. Okay, I have this, you have that particular setup. It reduces so much of my cost in my next production. It brings in that efficiency. And it brings in the, a more close relation among the members. Yeah, so that should be done. And it is raising concerns of piracy, concerns of theatrical releases, concerns of release of art, and sharing of assets. This I think is brilliant, and everybody in the industry should support something like this.
Thank you, sir. Rohit sir, it was great to have you in my show.
You're most
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for sharing so many things about filmmaking, about so many, all the areas I think we have covered, we have spoken. I think you have spoken. I have raised only few questions because I know a lot about you, but I don't know how to take it up and put everything. But still, we have got so many things. People have got so many knowledge from you. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much, Pavana. Thanks.
ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ರೋಹಿತ್ ಮಂಜ್ರೇಕರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಜರ್ನಿ, ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಜರ್ನಿ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡ್ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಆಡ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಾಲಿವುಡ್ ದಿಗ್ಗಜರ ಜೊತೆ ಅವರ ಕೆಲಸಗಳ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿರಬಹುದು, ಶಂಕರ್ ನಾಗ್ ಅವರ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋವನ್ನ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಹೀಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೊಸ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎಡವಬಾರ್ದು, ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೇಕರ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ನ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್, ಗುಡ್ ಬೈ.